Hey guys, so right now I'm just grinding the corners off on this giant Thor's hammer. So to get high enough, because this vise is the only thing that I can figure out to hold the piece, and it's big enough that I had to make a little stand here. I'm sure it's absolutely OSHA approved, but that's what I'm using right now to grind the top of this. So now I'm going to start grinding. Alright guys, it's actually been a while, about 2 hours of straight drilling. So I think we're just about to get through and be done with the drilling. So you can watch that if you want to. Now that the hole is drilled through the hammer, we're ready to make the handle. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to drill a hole in this for the lanyard to go through, and then we're going to punch it out to be the right width in the fire. Forge. Well, now it's hot. That was quick. Slide it back over the hardy hole. Okay, flip it over. Heat this back up and come back to you when it's hot. Round 2. think that'll work. All right, so I just popped this on the grinder really quick and kind of went around it, and then I used a file to kind of clean up the corners on the hole so that they won't cut the leather lanyard when we put that through. So now I'm just going to heat it up in the fire and brush it off. I want it to all be kind of this this gray color. Alright, so we're just about ready to put this on the anvil. So we might need to change the camera angle. Very hot, but that's how I want it. And now we'll let it cool off, and then we'll be ready to weld the handle onto the hammer. All right, so we've got the handle through the giant hammer with a little extra on top for ease in handling right now. The next thing I've got to do is it is very a tight fit, but we're still going to weld a little here on the top, make sure that it doesn't come apart. Be forewarned, I am not a welder. I'm not good at welding. My welds are ugly and I have to grind on them a lot. So be prepared for that. Here we go. Okay guys, so what I've got to do now is cut off a piece of this big plate. I'm going to use this for the little top decoration that goes on top of the hammer where the handle comes through. So I'll go ahead and cut this with the chop saw. After I plug the chop saw in. So now I'm ready to drill the round piece out of this piece of plate, and I've got a hole saw to do that, so we'll do that next. So we got this piece cut out. and then we drilled the 1-inch hole in it. It got it kind of cleaned up a little bit on the belt sander, so we're ready to see and make sure it fits on the handle. I really hope it does. Maybe it needs some persuasion. So we'll come back when that piece is all the way down. Alright, so this piece is now on. It fits just right, so we're going to go ahead and weld this, and then we get to make a fire and put the whole hammer in a fire. Won't that be exciting? Alright guys, we're back again. So now what we've got to do is I've cut the handle, the extra off the top. Now we're going to grind it flat, and then we're going to finish up cleaning up the welds and making sure that there's no voids visible. So if you want to watch a couple minutes of me grinding this down, we'll have the camera on, and then we'll probably not record the whole process and then come back when it's finished. Alright, now everything's ready for us to pick it up and put it in the fire. So we're going to try this using just muscle and see how it works. Alright, we just pulled it out of the fire, and now I'm going to put some wax on it. Enjoy. It's a little small. So actually we're going to take this outside because it's lots of it. Alright, so here it is. It's not a totally uniform color, but I think it turned out pretty well. So now we're going to let it cool off. And then we are going to, after a long time of waiting for it to cool off, just be able to start on the handle and the lanyard and the silver inlay. Thanks for watching. So we're here in the saddle shop at this is the Place Park, and I'm having Diamond Jim Davis do a lanyard strap for the hammer for me. So we'll just spend a couple minutes and watch him working on that. Alright guys, so right now I'm working on the handle of the hammer right here. So what I'm doing is I've put some little silver pieces on for the top and bottom of where the leather wrap will be, and now I'm putting in some leather risers that will go underneath the leather handle when we wrap it on to give it some texture, make it easier to grip. So when I'm ready for the next step, which will be wrapping the handle with some twine, I'll get back to you. Thanks. So right now what I'm doing is I'm wrapping between the risers with some twine, and then when that's done, we'll be ready to start with the leather wrap. So when we get to that point, we'll do some more video. All right guys, so I did the wrapping on the handle of the twine that'll go underneath. Right now I'm going to spend some time working on some of the silver inlay, and then later on I'll do the leather for this. So this part, the silver inlay, is something I've actually never really done before, so it's kind of a learning experience and trying to figure out how it will work. Alright, so I'm here just about to do the leather wrap, so I've glued it on, and now I'll go over with some of this weldwood contact cement and finish getting that all glued on, and then I'll wrap it with some twine for some texturing and to help kind of act as a clamp as it dries. So that's what I'm up to next. Alright, so I thought I'd show you just a little bit of wrapping the handle. So the leather's still wet, and so it should take a little bit of the shape of this, but mainly the reason that I'm doing this is so that the risers that we put underneath will stand out pretty bold here once the handle is finished and all the glue and contact cement is dry. So we should be able to see this here in the morning. And then we should be able to treat it with a little bit of a water-based dye and add a little bit of color to it. Hey guys, here's a picture of the finished hammer. I didn't get a video of it taken before I delivered it, but if you watch again soon, I'll upload a video of the finished hammer, kind of show you the different aspects and features of it as it was finished. Thanks for watching me make this. Bye bye.